the reason he's not here. It's a little ugly incident that occurred in Placer County that is unresolved at this point. And he saw I was going to be on the agenda here. He didn't have a warrant out for him, so we'll get to that. And also, please, don't steal the balloons, okay? We've been here before. You know, I'm so pleased to be here. I used to do a lot of speaking for United Way. And I would always start off with, we all know somebody who needs help, who needs hope, who needs a hand. So I got some remarks, but I'm going to kind of deviate a little bit because when I walk through there, through the lobby out here with all the providers, I was inspired. How about you? Is that amazing? I know a lot of are seated at the table with you as you get ready to do a campaign. I was just blown away. And I think that what John McCarthy said, you know, the economy's tough. And the people that are going to be using those providers are going to grow and grow. And they need us. They need your campaign. Because we all know somebody needs hope, needs help, and needs a hand. I also like, Steve had mentioned before that United Way started as the community chest. And for those that played Monopoly, remember it was the yellow cards. The chance, not so good. But community chest was usually pretty good. Oh, sure, there's at least one go to jail card, but come on. I gotta do something. In fact, we decided in Placer County, jail sounds so harsh. I like to think of it as a gated community. Yeah. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, without your help, some people will come to my gated community that don't need you, that we could prevent. We could help their lives. We all know somebody needs hope, needs help, and needs a hand. I'm here to talk briefly, and briefly because I think this is really about you and your businesses and your campaign, but the Child Abuse Prevention Council of Placer County. It was formed in 1988, and it's a 501c3 dedicated to the prevention of child abuse and neglect. The vision is that all children live in a safe, healthy, and nurturing home. That's our mission. And we support and create effective prevention programs, educate the community about child abuse, and build relationships with other service providers. We were one of the first child abuse prevention councils to form a family resource center. It's got one-stop shopping for people to come and talk about parenting, drug and alcohol abuse, those sort of things. And that started in 1994. We currently have two, one in Roseville, one in Auburn. And last year, we served over 5,000 children and their families. Good stuff going on. And we couldn't have done it without United Way. Currently, the Keeping Kids Safe program, but even before that. You see, I got started with the Child Abuse Prevention Council in 1992. And then it was an Auburn-based kind of government workers sitting around over brown bag lunches talking about cases and talking about maybe a strategy or two. We were infused with the help of United Way. We got a new executive director. We went out and we expanded our board. We got people like you, business people that come to that table to talk about how to prevent child abuse. And I'll never forget Larry Kelly, and you know Larry from McClellan Park, who's on our board. And we're sitting around talking about, we need the goals, we want to do this. He goes, why don't we just prevent it? Why don't we just eliminate it? And I'll look at it, wow. But that's why I think that business has a role. I mean, you've seen the providers. They need your support, your time, your talent, and your money. But to have Larry on that board to set that goal. We started the Family Resource Center 1992, I think, and it was in a crappy, rundown apartment building in Roseville. And it was filled with drug abuse, alcohol, child abuse, child neglect, you name it. This was that microcosm. And we actually moved the center into that facility, working with the Roseville Police Department, the City of Roseville, a lot of partners, a lot of collaboration, and we couldn't have done it without United Way support. We had a cooperative daycare. That was so cool. Because in order for a parent to benefit from the daycare, they had to volunteer their time. And while they volunteered their time, they were taught how to be better parents. Transparent to them. It was an incredible success and one that we've modeled since then. I was given a success story. I want to share with you a couple of reasons. They printed this out in small font. It's all right. And I think this is important for a couple of reasons. Let me get on with this. A family of 3 was referred to the Child Abuse Prevention Council's Roseville Family Resource Center by Placer County Juvenile Probation. Dad was a heavy drinker. The family's only child, a teenage son, was, quote, out of control, end quote, and interested in gangs and arrested numerous times. They believed their teen was using drugs and alcohol. Finally, what pushed it over was he was arrested for taking a knife to a school campus and threatening a fellow student. That resulted in the probation department's referral, and also resulted, I think, in those parents reaching their wits' end. What do we do now? But they ended up with our center. They really knew that their lack of skills were partly responsible for their son's behaviors. They accepted that, and they got engaged with the resource center. Now, here's some of the things that happened in that family. Thanks to you. Thanks to United Way. And thanks to the wonderful staff. Actually, the family received many services and support from the resource center, parent training and coaching, family conflict resolution, parenting skills education, a youth diversion class for their son, health screening, individual and family counseling. Dad was hooked up for the first time with AA. And I'm really happy to report he's still sober and still attending the sessions. That was all done through the resource center. This family, they attribute their turnaround, and they're doing great, by the way, they're doing great. They attribute that to the services they got through the Child Abuse Prevention Council at the Roseville Family Resource Center. When Mom and Dad say their improved parenting skills changed their family for the better. And I guess this is the thing, this is why this is important to me. In this type of, and I always told them, I said hope, help in a hand. In this text, before I even saw it, never worked with these people before. They felt hopeless, they felt helpless. And yet, because of you, we were able to reach out to them and make their world better. And I think the other thing that's really important that I like about this story, it's not flash. It's not overnight. It's hard, slow process. And when I walked through there, I was inspired by the number of service providers, and I preached to that choir in a way. You know this isn't fast. You know this road is painful. But it's a road that these people are happy to be on, and they couldn't have done it. So, that's the message. But that's what these providers do every day. They're changing people's lives. They're diverting them from my gated community to a rich, fulfilling life. And as the economy suffers, people suffer. And we're going to demand more of those great people and the great work that they're doing, and we need to help them. Because that's what the Child Abuse Prevention Council does every day. That's what all those providers do every day. And that's what United Way makes happen every day, thanks to you. So here it is. Business people, you start up your campaigns, don't be them tigers. Give generously. Of not just your money, give your money, lots of money. Give lots of money. Lots of money, lots of money. But also give it your talent, give it your time. Find something out there, somewhere, one of our United Way partners has touched your heart. And get in there and give them a hand, because really, remember, we all know somebody who needs help, needs hope, needs a hand. Thank you very much.